Welcome to lesson 6 of Photoshop image manipulation. Okay, so what we've done so far is that we've cut out a model and we've sort of put them into the scene. We've also added some noise to our scene here by doing with the graphics. You've got a grey layer here. We've changed that layer to be 30% opacity over here. And we've also changed the linear light, and this gives that sort of grainy effect, and it just helps to fit our characters into the whole image. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is we want to look at adding something else into the scene. So I'm going to add in some you could add in, say, a spider, let's say, for example, or creepy crawly, something to make it look surreal. I'm just going to add in some a ball. Okay, so a ball sort of falling from the ceiling or rolling across the floor, just randomly. That we've got a few images, extra images in there. Now, you're more likely to do this by hopefully getting a photograph of the subject that you want to put in here. But I'm just going to go to the internet for this, and you can too, obviously, if you have an issue with doing that. So just go for a ball here, images. Now, under images, you want to get a reasonably sized one. So you can do search tools and you can pick the size and say larger than. Now, you could go for 4 megapixel, 2 megapixel. I'm going to just go for this size. Hopefully I'll get one. There we are. So it's reasonably sized image. Just so view image. And I can then take that image and hopefully put that in there. Now, the problem is with getting images from the internet that sometimes it doesn't always, it's not always the right size. So I'm just going to call it test ball. Okay. Right, so back to Photoshop, and I'm going to just open that. So get that image. Okay, so here it is. Right, now because this is a nice clean cut image, it should be fairly easy to cut out. You can obviously do the same as you did before with the polygon lasso tool, or if you have got a clean cut image like I have that's on a white background, I'm going to use this magic wand tool, and I'm just going to click on the white area. Okay, so I need to hold shift and click on the bottom white area too. And now I need to then just say select inverse, and then I can copy that and paste it onto my surreal image. Okay, so you can see obviously, yes, it's massive, and it obviously doesn't fit in to the background and so on that we've already set. So if I just set that in the layers panel over here, if I just grab that, put it down underneath, straight away you can see it's now set into my area here. So I'm going to just set one up here. And then I'm gonna duplicate this. Now to duplicate it, I just held down the Alt key, and what that does, obviously duplicate it. Then I do Control T, and I can then resize it. So I'm going to do a couple of different ones. It's down here. Just add a little bit into it. Press enter when you're happy. Okay, now you can see straight away I need to play around with this, adding a bit of shadow to it. Do another one over here maybe. Control T, and I might just swivel this around so it's facing the other way. And resize it a wee bit. Enter there. And that's probably about it. I think I might just do one more. Control T. And resize that down. And enter. Now, the one thing you can obviously notice that the light is shining on it, and where I've got I've kind of swiveled it around so the kind of light is more or less coming from the various directions that I want. I might just do that a little bit there like that. Okay, now the same thing applies where you just have the burn tool, but the other thing I might want to do is, you got to remember that the focus is on our image here, on this area, more or less, and this is obviously in focus as well. So we might want to add a blur effect to that. So if you select the correct layer, you just make sure you've got the right layer where you turn it on or off, and we can go up to filter and we can pick a blur. Now there's different ones we can obviously do, and you might want to play around with some of those. So if I do, say, a Gaussian blur, you can see I'm just kind of taking that out of focus. Gaussian blur is quite nice. So there's that one done. And the other thing you might want to do is obviously these ones are in motion. So if I just find out where that one is. Right, so this one here, I'm going to do a motion blur. And let's see what happens if I do the angle going down some 90 degrees. A little bit less. See what happens when you do it loads, but doesn't really matter actually. 90 or 190 there is that one there, and same again for this last one over here. See how I'm flicking between the layers, obviously, because each one is on a different layer. And let's say I do another motion blur, same angle, and about same again. Okay, so the only thing I probably have left to do is just to fix this one a little bit so that it's got a bit of a drop shadow. So that again was on our background, I believe, and you had to pick the burn tool. So it's over here somewhere, burn area. Oops. And I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. Just add a bit of a burn to there. Just got to be very careful you don't do too much. And that's about it. Okay. Right, so there we have it, and we've got quite a nice image. So the next lesson, what we need to do is just maybe cut out the bits that we don't need, possibly crop it down a little bit, and then that's it, pretty much finished. The last thing you might want to do is then put on your signature at the end.